Hi everyone, welcome to Live from the Studio special edition with plenty guest star today, just before the SoCal Synth Summit. So let me launch the intro and then I'll introduce you with everybody here. Hi everyone, I'm with a bunch of stars. Just my site, pitchymango.org, and I want to thank all the supporters that allow to do these things with me. All right, let's move on to the next one. And sound on. Now we can hear them. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes. Okay, I've got 9 people. Why I don't see everybody? Do I need to change that? Okay, we'll change it this way. Trying to find. No, we see Alex.
Hello.
And Trovasi. Oh.
Hello.
Okay, I didn't set up everything. I see only 9 here on the tile view. And can I change all this stuff? Sorry, I'm setting up this stuff. The other time. Okay, we'll leave it in. Whoever is speaking first is coming on the screen. All right, let's go do a round. Alphaster, you're on the screen. If you want to say hi.
Hey everybody.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
In San Francisco, enjoying the weekend. Hoping everybody else is as well.
Yes.
Hey.
Frae-Frae, you're next.
Hey, Frae-Frae from an undisclosed location on the beach, actually in Rockaway. Thanks for having me.
All right, the Galaxy Electric.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Jacqueline.
I'm Augustus.
Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. Next Expanse.
Hey guys, I'm Adam /NextNerd /System Instruments. Glad to be here.
All right. Alphaster, if you could stop the music in the background, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Well, somebody is playing music in the background. All right, who do we have next? Trovasi.
Hey, hello. I'm Clarke, and I'm super excited for this morning, along with the Synth Society Summit. And I'm still having to drink my coffee, so yes.
Good morning, and you will have to leave us at 11:30 to get everything ready for the Synth Summit.
Yes, yep. We're kicking it off with the DIY soldering hour.
All right, that sounds awesome. Malarkey.
Hi everyone, I'm Patrick. I make music as Malarkey. Coffee of choice this morning is High Wire.
Oh, that sounds good. Alex.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex. I'm based in New York. I'm moving out today from Brooklyn to Brooklyn, so I'm enjoying the nice day outside. And I go by Alex for music. Nice to meet a lot of people that I haven't met in person. Hi everyone.
Awesome. Next one is Hugo.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo R.A. Paris. I make music under my birth name, and I'm based in Portland, Oregon usually, but right now I'm in the south of France with my family of origin. I might move later and you'll see around. It's pretty here.
Sounds awesome.
Magnifique.
Superb. Kim?
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm out in Oakland right now. I make music under my own name, Kim Yuchi.
And what coffee are you having?
It's oh god. It was whatever my roommate left in the coffee grinder.
All right, no worries. In time fun. Hello, good morning. You're muted for some reason.
I see that, yes.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Ryan. I go by Interphone. I finished all my coffee so far this morning.
All right. Next one is Chris.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So my name's Chris Autry, and that's what I release music under. and I am in San Francisco. Things are bright and sunny this morning.
Awesome.
Nice.
Next one, Lachlan.
Hello, Lachlan Butcher. I make music under my own name. I did not get up in time to make coffee before this, and so currently what I'm drinking is sadness.
Next one is a Cult of One. Hello, Ryoko. No.
Ryoko.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
What coffee are you having? If it's coffee.
It's called Blackbird by Phoenix Roasters. It basically tastes like charcoal, which is my favorite.
Sounds good. And I didn't have coffee this morning, just a tea. Thanks all for joining. So we're getting out of the pandemic and the lockdown. So what are the news and activity for all of you? I don't know. There's a raise your hand so I can see who wants to speak. So like this, let's organize it a little bit. So if you can raise your hands, and then I'll make sure everybody has a time to speak. So how did you live working from home, and what are you looking forward in the next few weeks, months, in terms of event, and I don't know, what are your news? What's next? Do I need to?
You need to call out people, I think.
Yes. Well, here you go, Carnalex. Okay, Carnalex, you start then.
Did I just volunteer myself?
All you, Alex.
Well, so I started getting more into modular during the pandemic, and so now I want to start exploring the live scene here in New York, and things are opening very slowly, and I know the guys from NIMS are planning, to go live events, and I'm just trying to play live more, which is something that I haven't really explored throughout my years as a musician, because it's something I do more of as a side thing. But now I'm so much in the weeds that I want to start exploring that a little bit, and getting more human contact a little bit more, and interacting with real human beings. This pandemic showed me that I am less of a misanthrope than I thought I was, and so I'm ready to go out and mingle and just play and learn from other musicians and just see what people are doing.
And the peronosphora is asking a question, I guess, to everybody. How many albums did you make in the last 12 months? Carnalex, how many albums did you make?
I made one or two half-assed proto albums, but I would say like 2 or 3 real songs from start to finish that I went deep into the woods of a patch and explored it. I would say 2, and I'm about to release it the second one in the next few weeks. So as soon as it's mastered, I'm going to start posting stuff so you guys can see.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? I don't know.
I'll go. You want?
Go ahead, Alpha Sound.
Yeah, I'm probably more of a misanthrope, actually. I've actually enjoyed being just like isolated in my studio working on stuff, because I've got a lot of experience playing live, and that's something I've just done for so many years that I don't really need to be doing that all the time. I think it was good to take a break from that, actually, in a way, to kind of focus on different stuff. And
interesting.
As far as prolificness, I mean, anything can kind of eventually become, everything's got the potential to become a piece, So I record something every day, and it's like, since the pandemic started, I've actually got, just in iTunes playlists, something like 20 albums in the works, and then maybe 2 or 3 that are probably close to something that I feel good about releasing. One of which I did release actually recently with Lachlan mastering. Which is a lot of it. I want to just release stuff properly mastered and everything. But as far as works in progress, there's so many potential albums, just sitting in my hard drive that you know, some will come out, I'm sure, eventually, but, you know, for the most part, it's like just enjoying the process, you know, more so than anything else. I am looking forward to getting out and doing some solo shows, you know, down the line and meeting some different people in different scenes, you know, once that becomes a little bit more feasible, you know, like getting down to SoCal and stuff like that, or getting up north and seeing some people up there would be cool, you know, so. But as far as lockdown goes, it's been good for that. It's been good for just indulging in the creative process. I still haven't really worked this whole time. I have a small shop that I print T-shirts out of under my house here, so I've been able to kind of sustain myself with that. But as far as like employment, you know, it's been about a year since I've been properly employed. So I'm just here, pretty much just doing it, doing the thing, and just enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been tough for some of us, but I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know, you're pulling it through.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Very, very lucky.
Yeah. I saw somebody raise their hand, but I can't see who it is. But anyway, let's go to Frae-Frae.
Hey. So yeah, I actually kind of really related to what everyone was saying. I didn't feel the need to be overly productive, but I did make music. And before the pandemic, and it will probably continue, I've been a touring musician, so this is the first time in like 20 some years in New York that I've been in New York for almost 365 days. I started surfing. I played a lot of banjo, and I also run a nonprofit for girls and gender expansive youth with a new STEAM-focused curriculum called William A. Future Sounds, and we're opening a 1,500 square foot listening studio with a quadraphonic system, computers, and synths in Gowanus, Brooklyn to start our in-person teaching. We don't plan to really be in person till the fall, but the rapid opening up of New York probably means that we'll be doing some pop-up something or other. So that's really exciting to bring STEAM and synths and social justice model together for young people in this area. And yeah, that's what's up.
All right, thank you. I muted everyone else and I'm muting myself, sorry. That sounds cool. Yes, and then I'm looking forward to hear your quadraphonic teaching. Let's move on to the Galaxy Electric. Galaxy Electric, I think you're muted. Mute everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Are we unmuted now?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Hi. Yeah, it's been an interesting year. I think we have played more music, like having to sit still and like be in one place and not get distracted by, you know, going on the road or doing events or what have you in physical spaces. I think allowed us to just really connect with what, you know, inspires us the most and the kind of work we want to do the most, which I think was really useful, helpful. If I can take something positive, you know, from the experience, I think that's been the biggest thing. And you know, building more online community, which, you know, I see a lot of benefit to in terms of accessibility and connecting with people who maybe can't leave the house. I think about that kind of stuff a lot. So I think that's been enriching. And we have, you know, started a podcast, which is not anything novel to, you know, to the world. But the community that we built around, or that we've been building and has been building itself around early electronic music with magnetic tape, and diving into, you know, the history of that, is the podcast that we have launched during the pandemic. So, you know, I know a lot of people have been doing things like that, and it just happened during the pandemic. It wasn't like really because of it, but
Yeah,
you know.
Cosmic Tape Music Club.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what it's called.
And how many albums have you been released in the last 12 months? Or what was your output in the last 12 months?
Just one. So we released, but a double LP. We released a double LP on vinyl and actually released it on reel-to-reel tape, which seems a little crazy, but you know, we just figured we'd give it a try. We found a person that manufactured reel-to-reels, Dead Media tapes out of Texas, and they were able to make a really cool product, and so we were able to get it out to our fans, and we sold out of them. It was actually our most popular item, I would say, which is pretty surprising, but maybe not. I don't know. People seem pretty into tape these days, and that's something that we definitely promote. Is just through our Facebook group and everything. And Cosmic Tape Music Club is like, use tape, hack cassettes, and crinkle it up and see what it sounds like. Sort of promoting tape experimentation.
Yeah, you like to make tape loops the old way and releasing on tape reels your albums from these tape loops. Sounds cool.
We're obsessed with oxide.
All right. Who do I've got next? Let's go to Evan. Or next expense, sorry.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely not been as musically productive as I would like over the pandemic. I'm almost to one album, but obviously I've been doing other things. I finished my dissertation. I launched a synthesizer company, so New Systems Instruments has 4 modules out and worldwide distribution, and so definitely been busy. I feel like this was like this really sort of it's a time to dive into things just generally, and having done that though, like I'm so ready to come out and like go everywhere and see everybody, and share like what we've all been doing, like in our little cubbies by ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's time to meet people other than by a screen and have some real interaction. I was listening to people talking and about virtual music, virtual events, and they say everybody tried it, but it's not really working. People wants to have it's not like watching a movie where there's a suspense, you don't know it's going to end. When you go to a concert, you know what the song is all about, so it's connection with people and with the artist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just hugged my sister for the first time in about a year, like last night, and it was wonderful. So I look forward to more moments like that.
Yeah, so do I. Let's go to Traversy. Thanks, Evan.
I have a question for you. What was the name of your module company?
New Systems Instruments.
Oh, okay. I want to write it down.
And it's available at Perfect Circuit now, so no more excuse, Traversy. You can just drive from home. You can walk from home and pick one up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm going to check it out for sure. Wow. What have I been doing this past year?
Everything.
I've been pretty busy. Like, I don't even know where to start, honestly. Music-wise, let's see. I released 2 EPs, and I did this project for a label that I've been on, and it was kind of cool. Like, basically I had to do like a DJ set, like a mix, that was going to be re-released, and then I did 3 remixes on that release, but it was all music from the label. So that was pretty fun, and that was like released on not only the label, but then you can listen to the full mix on Spotify, or you can listen, to each individual track that was within the mix. And yeah, I don't know. I released several remixes for various techno and tech house artists this year, and then I released some singles on my own on Bandcamp. And my last release is the Modular Stages, and basically that's like an ongoing album release. I decided that I put that on Bandcamp, and the concept of that album is that it just keeps growing for the year. So those who purchase the album, when they go back and I add something else, will be able to download the new edition. And so each piece is just like a different stage that's happened throughout the year. So it could be like an ambient piece, it could be techno, it could be whatever stage I guess I'm in throughout this upcoming year. So yeah, I thought I'd try that out and see how that works out for people. And I want to thank Frae for helping me think of the name and how I want to approach it. But yeah, I think that's probably like my favorite thing I think I've released this year.
Yeah, that's a cool concept, and you've been very active also on the, online on the live stream. Rocco is wondering if you're not a techno machine fused to your chair.
Sometimes I wonder that. I'm sure my wife, Space Racer, is like wonders that too. No, she's like very active herself in the analog space mission. So we've been very busy this year. Yeah, I've been doing the videos for Perfect Circuit and have several live streams happening. Faders Up has been a lot of fun to do, to interview various artists, what they're doing. And that was like a project that I started on my own channel, but some of you have seen me like on Perfect Circuit and other YouTube channels. Make Noise, I did a video for Make Noise. I have another one coming up for Bo Beats. And yeah, so I don't know, like...
And involved with the SoCal Synth Summit, and also Frequency Shift, and involved with the SoCal Synth Summit, getting all organized.
Yeah, I have to say that this month after the Synth Summit, I am actually shifting my focus a little bit. Like, I have my Patreon group that I do, and I'm going to continue focusing on that. But this year, I'm vaccinated, and my goal was to travel, and I have a couple gigs booked in the fall, but my main focus is to go and hang out with people in their studios. So, for example, I'm going to be meeting up with Alex. You guys know him as Nasty Nachos, Chris Meyer, Jim Coker, and at points I'm just going to travel and go spend time with them and get in the studio and just patch and just have that experience that I've missed, as we all missed over this past year and a half of like, in real life, like collaboration and hang out and just that personal time to like grow and learn something from another artist. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know I've talked to some other artists. Some of you are in the chat, some of you are here on the screen, and I definitely look forward to scheduling that time so we can hang out and just not really do the live stream stuff per se, but just make some music and just be, I guess. And but enough about that. But the Synth Summit, I'm super excited about it. That's all this weekend.
Yeah.
What's up with the Synth Summit? I'm not aware of that.
So the Synth Society Summit, we started it last year, SoCal Synth Society, before any of the live streams started. And we used to do a lot of in-person events, tutorials, workshops, DIY soldering. And we're like, what the hell are we going to do now? Like none of us can hang out. So we were like, we should just do it online. And it was like one of our other members, Corey Banks, you guys probably know him as B-Boy Tech. And we were like, let's just do it. So we just kind of threw it all together in like less than 2 weeks. And we just started reaching out to Franck and Alpha Stare. I met him in the Colin Bender's Discord, and Colorado Modular, North Coast Modular, Seattle. Some of those in the UK, like everywhere, and we just started basically we cold called all these people, like, hey, do you want to be on this thing? And like, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna have panels, and do you want to host this one or that one? And everyone was like, yes, because we needed to connect, everybody missed that. And so that was it. And so fast forward to now, now that we've built all these relationships, Colorado was like, you should do it again. And I'm like, we will only do it if you help us this time. Because it was a lot. Because it was like a weekend long. And we were like, yeah, because it's like a streaming hour after hour after hour of nonstop panels. So every hour starting right after this segment, if you go to SoCal Synth Society's YouTube page, there's going to be a DIY panel. The next one is hybrid systems. Then the next one after that, hour after that, is small systems. The next one is anything but eurorack, so talking about other synthesizers, drum machines. The one after that is the frequency shift panel, and then after that's the mod bap. And then Sunday, those panels are on the Colorado Modular Synth Society. It's a lot of words. But yeah, if you go to their YouTube channel on Sunday, they have, they're doing visual synthesis. They have video with like visualization in modular. They have the Buchla 5U, and help me out, Franck, because I know you're
yeah, Buchla Surge and Model 500.
Yes, and what else is happening? Oh wait, I feel like I'm forgetting one other segment. My apologies, but we have the schedule on our IG, and if you just go over to the YouTube channels, it'll just be back to back. You'll get alerts, and the great thing about it is at the beginning of every panel, we're opening it with a performance. So yeah, so not only you'll see the performance, then you'll also can get involved in the discussion in the chat on the panels. I know Galaxy Electric, I'm going to see you on the Any Synth Thing But Eurorack, right? Looking forward to chatting with you guys.
Yes, indeed. And also you can rewind to yesterday where there was a lot of performance last night, starting it. And if you stay till the end of this stream, then set it up to jump to the first SoCal event. So hopefully the YouTube gods will make it happen.
I hope so too.
So you don't have to look for it. Hopefully, just after this stream finished, and you will have the you'll see the next one for the SoCal event. Yeah, no, that's
awesome.
Really awesome and busy. All right, let's see with Malarkey. No,
that's a good way of putting it.
Malarkey, how many released last year? You're still muted.
Okay, now I think I'm not muted.
Yes.
There.
Okay.
Now.
In the last year, I've put out 2 EP length releases on Aerogrid. I released a performance track back in January. I've recorded a lot of additional material because I'm constantly recording new things. So I'm kind of trying to go back through everything that goes back through the pandemic as well as the 6 months before that and just kind of close the book on it. So that will probably come out as 2 or 3 different things over the next year. I'm just going to finish it all at once and then put it out once in a while. What has happened during the pandemic is that I would say my creative process has sprawled out in that the ways that I'm making music have changed because I've been less focused on taking instruments to other places to perform. So even live stream performances can be used much more sprawling systems. So the problem that I'm trying to solve now is that because my style has grown, how do I kind of get that growth in style back inside of a box that I'll be able to physically take places as we start to do that? So that's what's on my mind right now, and I'm going to try to solve that problem over the summer. Yeah, it's been a very creative time just because it's been a very self-reflective time for many of us.
Yes, indeed. And also with, I don't know, your label, Eurogrid.
Yeah, the label has been extremely busy. The pace of releases is starting to back down now. The label's also looking to bring some new people on. But for the first year or so, we had a new release every 2 weeks. among less than a dozen artists. So that pace of work really speaks to the amount of creative effort behind that whole crowd. And you see this with some other labels that I follow in the electronic music world too, where some of them are putting out releases every 2-3 days. And it's almost challenging to keep up what they're doing in some cases, but it also speaks to just generally the nature of what musicians are thinking right now and how they're going about dealing with the pandemic. And that creativity is a very good, or creative outlets are a very good way to express yourself at a time like this.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Patrick. And I forgot to say, thanks also to Trovasi for setting up all this online event and keeping the community together and inviting all of us to participate in this time. Let's go to Hugo. Ça va, Hugo?
Ça va. We're in the south of France. I finally get to visit my family, and that feels really good. It's been a challenging year being stuck in a country different than my country of origin, and not being able to see my relatives and hug them, and feeling kind of isolated. And it did impact my my creative process quite greatly. But I felt thankful because I got to connect with people in a way that I had never tried before, which is through a series of videos on Instagram. I have 2 series: Wednesday Inspiration for Artists, and then Friday Creative Catch Up. And in both of them, they're all focused on the creative process more than gear or even techniques or skills. It's really like, how do we approach our craft? How do we convey emotions as artists? How do we connect? How do we grow together? How do we build community? And that really has felt like an amazing source of positive energy and connection with others, and also a source of knowledge. And I've enjoyed how much interaction we get on the platform when people chat, despite it being on a social media platform, which I'm having more and more of a hard time with. I'm grateful we had it for this time. In terms of releases, I've worked on over half a dozen releases the past year, mostly albums, because I started a production business, mixing business that's called Tiny Crush Mixing. So I've been fortunate enough to get intimate with people's work in ways that I, it's really deep to see all the individual tracks of what someone else has done, and then see how they recorded it. You can hear that, and then try to really extract, make everything shine to its best, under its best light, and then support as much as possible the emotion that the person meant to convey. So it's a lot of thinking about, what is this meant to say? What is this meant to do? Which very much connects with the conversations we have on Friday Creative Catch Up or Wednesday Inspiration for Artists. And I guess for my own music, I've been shifting away from modular and more back to traditional instruments, as I was looking for a cathartic experience of playing. So keys and also drums have been very good for me, because I've been very in the studio and in the same room all day, so needing to, and not traveling for touring anymore, so needing to really move and be physical with music. And so I reconnected with those things, and I put out a short EP, 3 tracks, but really it's 1 that's been divided in 3, and it's 2 layers of keys, all a single take. So 1 take of keys for 12 minutes, and then another one layered on top, and that's it, no edits, just sliced in 3 movements. And it's called Fragmented because it depicts the experience of spreading fragments of oneself across places and connections, which is very much how I felt being all stuck in Portland in my small studio and missing all my touring friends and all my my artist friends and my family, and feeling like those fragments are everywhere, and I'm just made of so many small fragments. And so that too was cathartic. So really I guess I've been looking for cathartic experiences through this, and I'm really delighted to hear how much music's been made, to have had the chance to listen to it, and to see that now people have been maintaining events online, and now there's a bit more coming. I'm just thrilled. I can't wait to play again.
Yeah, it's interesting the how to convey emotions into the music, or how to push emotion once you pass the technique. And I saw your and I saw your drum kit in your studio.
Yeah. I'm so fortunate I have the roommates I have. They've been very patient with me. They let me play drums at midnight. I'm on the first floor, and the next roommate is on the basement, so there's a whole floor in between, and then there's a whole bunch of soundproofing, and it's half silent heads on the drums. It feels really good. It just feels good, especially when the gym is closed. I climb usually, so I go to the climbing gym, and this had been closed for a while. So just really needing that, and I think that for me, the experience of we all experience sound as vibration, and the experience of like feeling the vibration of a stick in my hand when I play really ingrains rhythm into the brain in an experience thing that just stays. I don't know. It sticks for me, literally.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and I think it's the evening back in France. Looks a lovely place where you are.
Yeah, you want to see it? You guys want a little tour?
I don't know.
We're in my parents' backyard. We've got some. There's cats that might show up.
Beautiful.
So, thank you. I've been missing this place. You can see the house. There's a pool that my stepdad. So we talk all about our projects. My stepdad decided that he's a contractor. He works all day building stuff and renovating houses. And then he thought that it'd be fun during COVID to just like convert the terrace here into a pool. So on his own, he's 60 years old, and he just like grabbed a jackhammer after work and just started digging and like doing the whole concrete thing. And he designed it on Google SketchUp. It has those cool little steps as you get in, and you can come in straight from the living room, which is quite a treat.
Yes, indeed.
So
very cool.
And then the next plan is to actually, we've been thinking about, because we have a lot of old cats. My parents rescued cats, so we've been talking about making some like large boats for the cats, the ones that tend to sleep a lot, because they might actually like just like having the slow motion on the water, and just because they like to play around it. Basically, they like to play on the pool.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's get on with Kim. Or Kim, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
I don't see the video.
Yeah. Oh. I'm down in the bottom corner.
Wait, let me come back to you. I don't see your video, Kim. We can hear you, but we can't see you anymore. Oh, here we go. Here you are.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Just need to refresh it.
Yes.
Yeah, so the pandemic has kind of taken me in this kind of left field, like, kind of wandering over to making films. That's what I've been mostly releasing. I've been working with the Artist Collective. I'm a part of Driven Arts Collective. We usually do big like dance theater productions, and so when we got to the pandemic, we were like, well, what do? We can't make dance theater productions and like interactive pieces and stuff like that. And so I was just like, well, let's shoot some films, and we released 2 short dance films this year, Quarantine and Zaga, and that was a lot of fun. And it's just been like this really amazing experience with like co-authorship and kind of being in like a creative space where you aren't like the only one holding yourself accountable. And it's just kind of really like been like uplifting to have that community creatively throughout the pandemic. And I work in music technology. I'm at San Francisco Conservatory as their studio manager. We've actually been open in person during the pandemic in kind of a limited capacity, so I haven't really been in quarantine, but like also facilitating kind of, the like how do you be in a studio together like safely, like what kind of things do you do? So it's kind of like, that's like my day-to-day, like figuring out how to navigate this germy world. And it's been a massive relief since I was like vaccinated and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And so, as you are with the conservatory, what's the plan? You see bookings, you see opening, you see concert coming up? No?
Oh yeah, we've been doing live stream concerts throughout the whole pandemic, and just as like San Francisco has started like loosening things up and like allowing things to happen in person, we've started having like what I've been calling like mixed reality concerts, in which we'll have like part of it that's a stream because we have remote students, so they submit videos of their work, and or we actually like stream them in live, like using like Zoom and Wirecast and stuff. And yeah, so you have like a small audience in the school of the students and their parents and like roommates who are in the area, and then also this like larger audience like out in the world. So I don't see like streaming going away, and I hope it sticks around to some degree, because I think it's a really beautiful like way to like reach and connect like beyond our like very local sphere and like where we are at the moment. Yeah, because
and where can we see that? Where can we see this video or this streaming?
Oh, sure. Let's see. So if you go to sfcm.edu and go to their concerts page, there's live streams every night. I did one recently with one of the classes there, and that was on the SFCM TAC, the Technology and Applied Composition program. That was on our Twitch channel. And yeah, that I just like hopped on last minute because I had my synth sitting in my office, so I had something to do while I was waiting for traffic. And that was a blast. I hadn't played live in a couple of months since like the last stream I did. And yeah, the streams are nice because then like my parents are on the East Coast, and yeah, they get to see me play music, which they haven't in like several years. So that's been like a really nice part of the pandemic, is being able to share my work with my family.
Oh, that sounds cool. Let me go to the next one. In Town Fun, how many albums have you been releasing in the last 12 months?
All of them.
All of them? What have you been up to in the last 12 months?
Well, so I started getting more seriously into music back, I guess, late 2017, early 2018. And so I had sort of been working on things for a while, and then I decided that I wanted to start releasing things this past year. So I kind of went on a tear at the end of last year and released about 4 or 5 or 6 EPs and albums. And then I released a bunch of singles from the live performance stuff that I've been doing online. So, yeah. I think that will slow down considerably this year.
Yes, could be. As we are going back to the office, maybe. It was it's
Actually,
nice to take. It's nice to take a break instead of going to the coffee machine. Do a little bit of music.
Yeah, I think it's actually more. This year, there's going to be a lot more focus for me on family and travel, and the things that we've been missing out on the past year. This year has really been an incredible sort of whirlwind, both from like my work has been insanely busy, and then outside of work, I've been sort of fitting in all this music stuff as well. So I'm hoping that the work side will slow down as well. But yeah, we'll see.
You have a couple of travel that have been postponing. Go see family and everything, but yeah. And I think also, maybe in the last year, I started to discover your music when you started to be more present on the streaming platform. It's funny sometimes there's some artists that are nearby that you don't know until you meet them in far away or on the internet.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. Before I go next, I want to come back to Traversy because I think she has to make sure the next show is ready. So before you leave, I don't know if you have got some question for any of the other people, or if you want to say something else.
Oh no, it's great to be here, like, and just meet some new people, even more so in here. I was actually going to ask you, are you going to put everyone's links in the description? Because I'm like jotting notes over here every time somebody but
yes, I'll put all the people that are here. I'll go back to their page. I think I've got them all here on my note sheets, so I'll put everybody's site and everything that were present.
To see what everyone's been.
So come back to the video just after, and then look at the description.
Okay. I think I do need to get ready for the stream though. I need to do a couple things before I start the live streaming for the day.
Yes. And
too.
And if you want to, I do this video so that you get in touch with each other and you start to know each other. So how no, you're not stranger. And if you want to reach somebody and you don't know to, just reach to me and I'll make the contact. I'll do the matchmaking.
Awesome.
All right. The music matchmaking.
All
right.
We'll probably leave the window open, so I'll be in the chat and listening, but I'm going to be moving around on the computer. But
all right, it was nice to have you, and
pleasure.
And see you soon on the Synth Summit.
Yes. All right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Robasi. Where is Chris? All right, here is Chris. So what have you been up to?
Hi. I've been working and making music. I put out an EP, I put out an album, I've recorded a ton of stuff, and I'm now in the process of trying to figure out where it's all gonna live. I've kind of got 3 new albums that are kind of 60 to 70% there, but I don't really think one of them is definitely aligns with the stuff that I've released previously, but the two other albums feel like there's something completely different. So I'm trying to figure out, do I release this under my own name? Do I release it under a different artist name? I'm not sure. So I'm kind of in the process of figuring that out. And I think I'll probably release all 3 of them sometime in the next 12 months for sure. At least one of them will be released before the end of the year. But, it's really interesting hearing what everyone's been saying about live streaming and hearing that there's these, long form events that are happening with live streaming. And I think that's really incredible and very exciting. I feel like it's kind of a mixed blessing. I think, I agree with what Kim said. It's awesome that it's like exposing us to people that are not just in our local area. That is really awesome, and I think that is super valuable, especially for people that aren't in your area or people that just don't go out to shows. There's a lot of people that just don't dig live music or are too whatever. They're physically or mentally not capable of coming out and seeing stuff. So live streaming enables us to reach those individuals. But at the same time, I also feel I struggle with it because I am on Zoom calls for work, like most of the day. I'm sure a lot of other people are in the same boat. And therefore, at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is be on another Zoom call. You know what I'm saying? So that's been a little bit of a struggle. I think it's one of the reasons why I love hardware. It's because like you get done with your day when you're on the computer, and then you can go and twiddle some knobs or hit some keys or bang some drums or whatever it is that you do, and that's a great mental and physical release. So, yeah, while I am very excited, I want to take part in more kind of live streaming events. I, like some other folks, am very excited to get back into the live performance area in terms of doing it as an artist and also doing it as a fan. I can't wait to get out and hear live music again. So,
yes,
that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are all looking towards to see people, see the fan or see the rest of the community. Yeah, and I've seen some of your release also through individually, or I think also through your label. That was quite cool. Yeah, the work balance. We've got less commute, so that's cool. But at the same time, there's I don't know, more meetings all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see with Lachlan.
Yeah, okay. So I released an album. I released one album, but to be fair, it was recorded in 2019. So I don't really know if it counts. I was thinking about this. I'm not very motivated generally to release things. One of the biggest reasons I even released the album is that Evan was on my case about it, which was very helpful. So that was good. I spent a lot of time, like, I don't know about y'all, like, the last year was pretty rough. And so, like, when I was approaching my creative process, it was like, I was very motivated just to feel good things. And I realizing as I'm trying to like tabulate how I actually spent time with music, I like spent more time playing guitar than I have in years over the last year, which was really enjoyable. Like thinking about how can I sit with guitar and really enjoy that experience. I spent a lot of time finding like oral history style interviews and playing guitar under them and just kind of like having that as a meditation. That was really a great experience for a couple months. I wrote music for piano, which I hadn't done in ages, and sent it just to like a couple people who I knew would play it, and that felt really lovely. That helped me feel connected to them. Don't know if I'll ever bother recording those things. I made some very half-baked attempts at learning how to make house music. The results were not very good. Those will never see the light of day, but that was like very enjoyable for a while. I think that like in terms of actual productivity, like starting to master things that people are releasing and seeing those come out into the world is the thing I'm kind of most proud of last year, other than releasing my record. But again, that's what masters, because it wasn't really something that I did last year. It was just something that came out last year. I think coming out of this experience, what I'm really excited for is I'm excited to play it live again. But one of the biggest things that's motivating that is I just want to be close to subwoofers and have bass pass through me. Like I'm very excited for that. But I'm like, I want to echo this thing that a couple other people have done. I'm really excited to just like play music with people. Like I want to jam with people, and even organizing events that are like kind of like shows. I'm interested in trying to figure out ways to create more collaborative spaces where people are actually playing together. I'm very, very excited to do that. I've been able to actually play music with a few people over the last month, and it feels so good. I'm also very interested in starting to picking something up I was doing before the pandemic and trying to organize things that are kind of somewhere between a concert and an installation a little bit more. I think that there's lots of opportunities for that, and I think that our community is well situated to support those kinds of things. So that's kind of what's on my mind as we're starting to emerge and breathe in public again.
It feels to me that we need to resurrect the San Francisco Tape Music Center.
I mean, sort of, yeah. Like, I don't know what that looks like in 2021, but that would be amazing.
You know, a space where you can record music, jam with friends, do installation. Yeah, that would be cool. Different names.
Space, really.
Yes, I don't know. We need to find the space, but yeah, that's a really awesome idea. Hope you'll figure it out, and we'll help you figure it out too.
Thank you. Surely I will have requests of everybody.
Sounds cool. Let's get to Cult of One or Ryoko. I forgot which artist name you go by nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it was Cult of One for a little while, but then I noticed like that was like, I don't know, getting misconstrued online, so I just started using my real name pretty recently.
So what have you been up to during this pandemic?
I released 2 albums. So there was the first one when I first started getting into eurorack, and then I flipped a house, built a new music studio, and then produced another album that was all done in one take, and then separated into different movements, and then that was all kind of listed on Bandcamp, and basically I stopped there, started taking some more classes and stuff for like sound design and mixing and mastering, and so I've been working on a new track, well, 2 new tracks with that new knowledge, and a friend of mine, Mod Boss, is remixing one of the tracks, so there's going to be an EP out probably by the end of this month, if not the very beginning of next month, which is 2 tracks and then a remix. And those will be on Bandcamp. I basically kind of just like taken a step back and slowed down a little bit because, you know, the pandemic started, what is time? In March last year or so, or April last year. So it's been like exactly 1 year. So I guess if like I was to like do a math equation, it's been like every 6 months I've released like 12 tracks or something. So I'm going to do this EP, and then I'm going to take a step back and maybe like go do some photography or something like that for a little while, and then make another EP. I have been talking to a bunch of people, including Travarsi, Mod Boss, even like Nasty Nachos, about doing a road trip soon. So I'm going to basically pack up all my gear and get in my car and just like start hitting all of the states where I've met people online. And then, you know, get out of my car, like hang out with them, set up, maybe jam, and try to produce maybe like a road trip album, which is kind of the next project. So basically release this EP, pay off my OPZ I just bought, and then get in my car and then go make an album with everybody that I've met so far. So like I've kind of posted about it on my Instagram, so everybody who follows me there, the goal would be to like hit every state that everybody's in, group everybody up, make some shit, record some shit, go to the next state, maybe have a caravan going so people following me. I don't know. Who knows? It'll be Mad Max. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. The road trip album. I don't know.
That's an awesome idea. I love that idea.
Yeah. So like, you know, and then if we can like, and then if people can take time off, obviously not, you know, everybody, some people have jobs and stuff, but like, it would be so funny if like I go to a state, jam with people in the state, and then they get in their car and start following me, and then like stop, do it again, and then another car joins, and then by the end of it there's like a bunch of people in like a caravan just like moving through like the desert. It just sounds hilarious to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting to have this I don't know, roving artist company, a little bit like I don't know, all the circus. What was it?
We'll make our own Burning Man, because Burning Man sucks now. We'll just start another one through this road trip, and we'll call it just UMM.
Here we go.
Burning Modular would be good.
Burning Eurorack.
Burn all the wood case. All right, so it happened right here, right now. That's why it all started. But now we can all come back to this video.
Yeah, now it's on record.
Yes. Yeah, je me sens c'est like some kind of train. Oh yeah, what did we call it on the Discord? Malaki, help me. The dinosaur train.
Yes, we have a server called Dinosaur Train, which is our test server for just trying different things on Discord behind the scenes. But that would be a good name.
Oh my god! So
pulling people around.
We could just call it a dinosaur train.
There you go.
Modular dinosaur train.
Like that sounds like a good idea.
All right, let's see with Alex. Thanks,
The modular
Yoko.
dinosaur train, and then we can like have people like on the fronts of everything.
Oh yeah, doing it Mad Max style, with a lot of
Yeah, or,
flamethrowers.
like drop the top on cars and people are playing music through the highway, like in the. I don't know.
Here we go. All right, thank you, Alex. What have you been up to?
Well, I already said at the very beginning, I'm the one that started, but I do want to know, I want to reach out to Fragmented, that you're in New York. I love the project that you have. And if it I want to reach out and see how I can, help you out with that project you have in Gowanus, because I heard you talking about it last time on Live in the Studio with Franck. And I kind of really wanted to reach out and I just spazzed out because, but I want to reach out and see how I can help. I'd love to get involved at some point. Since we're also here, it's very close to my place anyway, so I love it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It takes a village, right? I like the isolation because I'm kind of like I like to be alone. The isolation of work really appeals to me, but what feels bigger is to be able to be of service through music and to build community, and then to be able to uplift young people as well. That's way more important than anything I've ever done in my life. So I'm grateful for any assistance or help along those lines. So
yeah, for me, it's important also because modular is an expensive hobby, and so that imposes a involuntary, socially determined gatekeeping that I would not like to reproduce. And in whatever project I can help to give back in some way to in that context, I love it. So I'm gonna reach out.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I'll put the link of everybody in the description, as I told Travasis. Or you can go back to the previous live from the studio and find the interview of each one of you and how to contact and reach everybody. But that's so cool, and yeah, you seem to be really close to each other in New York. Though I don't know, driving could be deceptive, or traffic could be deceptive, but that would be cool. And we've got Wabi Sabi that joined us.
Good morning, Frank. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
How you doing?
So what have you been up to in the last year with all this pandemic? And also, who are you again?
I go by DB Pollen, but also Wabi Sabi when I perform. So I do, these types of shows. I like doing modular on the spot. And I'm excited to be scheduled for my first modular on the spot in September in Gasworks here in Seattle. Now that's one I was supposed to have been performing at last year in May, and of course it was canceled. So it's one of the few spots here in Seattle where I have not performed modular on the spot. If anyone has been there, it's absolutely gorgeous. You see the city out in front of you. It's right on the water. The water is literally 15 feet in back of you. So I'm excited about that. I think last time we talked, I mentioned I was about halfway through my album, Building Glass Houses. And as of now, I'm about halfway through my album. Yeah, still halfway. It's getting there.
And I think you've been releasing some singles from it, no?
Yeah, I released a couple singles from it. Yeah, I have. I also released a couple singles from actually another 100% modular album that I've been putting together actually for a couple of years now, called Solas and Chaos. And I'm thinking about just compiling all my modular stuff and that I think is worthy of it anyway, and just releasing that. So I might be doing that as well. But other than that, I'm getting ready to start up my Modular on the Mountain series again. So I have a couple of videos already done on that. And I'm just waiting for some of the roads around here to clear up and open up so I can get back on the mountain again. But I'm really getting into the small skiff type setups. I have like an 84 HP setup. I have a 104. I have a 60 HP setup, and I'm looking forward just to getting out and doing some jams, in nature and filming that. Just real minimalist ambient stuff. So the weather's getting nicer here, so that should happen pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds cool. You see a road open, why they are still stuck with the snow?
Oh yeah. Well, there's only one road open on the way up to Rainier, and I can do that, but you can't really leave the parking lot unless you have snowshoes and everything. Carrying a modular on my back with snowshoes might be interesting, but putting it down in the snow to play a set would be potentially disastrous. So I'm going to wait for a little bit on that, but I think most of the roads are going to open up. I think early, maybe mid-June, another few weeks. So I'll be doing that. I already got a couple spots picked out. Pretty excited about that.
That sounds cool.
Well, if Jonah had the courage to put his skiff on the sand, then snow is just the next logical step. Then.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But yeah, sand doesn't conduct well like snow does.
Build an igloo. And do an igloo.
Build a little igloo. Yeah, I could probably do it. Like put it on maybe a small table or something, or on a rock. I could be on a rock or something. So, but yeah, I mean, carrying a modular on my back snowshoeing is, not really into that too much. So I'll see. But yeah, that should happen pretty soon. So again, open invitation for anybody that's up in the Seattle area. Give me a call. I'll take you up on the mountain and we'll do a set. It's a lot of fun.
You should know you need to bring a towel everywhere you go. So like this you can lay the modular on it.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. The towel is the most important piece for traveling the galaxy.
Yeah.
You're saying Douglas Adams was a modular synth nerd?
Yeah, he had a digital watch too. So thanks. I'd like to open a little bit the floor with everybody, and also the people in the chat. See, some of you are already in the chat, but there's a couple of other friends like Wojo, Max, the peronosphora, Schmuster, Wokas Messia, Wayne Ridenhow, that joined us. So if you have got any question to each other's, and collaboration, questions, music, what do you see modular going on? How have been your gear acquisition syndrome? I just let's change the visual. Yeah, I just succumbed to it, and I bought 3 new modules. One which is the IntelliGel planar, so I can do some quad, and another one I finally figured it out. There's an envelope module that I've got a pre-delay, so like this I can do time shifting for the envelope and not have everything playing at the same time. So that's what I was looking, and then a new mixer so I can remove my bigger mixer. So what has been your gear acquisition syndrome during this pandemic, and if you've got any question to each other's, and you can raise your hand on the interface or just speak up.
Well, while we have Hugo on, I just want to say, Hugo, yeah, the Swan, man, fantastic. It takes a little while, but damn. Especially I combined it with the Acid Rain's Maestro. Modulation. Nice. It is crazy, yeah. It is really a lot of fun.
Oh, so glad to hear that. It's such a treat every time I hear that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. So if you want Swan support, it is the right time. Schuster was asking, honest question, how many stream performances have you been aware of recently that you missed? too many streams going on? Are you able to keep up? Would you be to? Have you been missing to be a part of some of the stream or some of the event? Anyone wants to answer? Do I need to?
My general approach has been to listen to a lot of them, but I don't try to be a completist and go back and watch things. And I'm not always actively watching them, but if it's a good time, I will have it on, be more listening to the performances or the discussion, because that's a lot easier just with multitasking.
Yeah, there's no way to keep up with all the streams these days. There's multiple streams going on at any given time, so I try to dip in when I can or catch up with some stuff. If I specifically want to catch a set, I'll go back and watch it, or just touch base in the chat. Just jump in and say, hey, what's up? Show some support. We'll maybe go and do whatever I was doing before. Keep it on in the background or not. But echoing what some other people were saying, it's just a really good thing to have the streaming platform as an option for people like that can't get out there. So I think it's pretty cool that that's gonna be a thing. And another little shout out to EMS, to the Earth Modular Society people who I've been involved with since the beginning. I'm not very active over there, but kind of behind the scenes doing some stuff. I'm actually going to be printing a T-shirt for a bunch of people in the group soon, which will be available. But they have a 24-hour thing going on where you can just kind of hit them up and get on there. If you've never streamed before, you want to learn how to do it, you want to kind of get some of the basics down, and you're not super comfortable doing a lot of stuff, you can just kind of work through all that stuff through a pretty cool and supportive group of people in the Discord. A couple of who are probably in the chat here. I know Schmooster is in the chat, so definitely contact Schmooster. Really super supportive person. And so going back also to like Travarsi's input, people like John O. Wells, from the beginning of the pandemic, I think they'd already been doing some things and organizing behind the scenes before the pandemic hit, so they had some things already in place. And they were able to parlay that into this virtual world, which is really cool. That was like really crucial in, connecting a lot of people and setting off a whole other, series of things that have been happening since, including what's going on all this weekend with the SoCal Synth Summit, which I think is their second online one, I think. So that's a really beautiful thing.
Yes, and I've got a Franck asking, does anyone see the future of online live music collaboration since we've learned to adapt to the social constraint from the pandemics? I don't know if you see that. Is it going to continue?
I think so. I think also echoing what somebody said earlier too about collaboration. After we get back to being able to see each other again, that will be a really cool thing. Just besides playing out, actually being able to go into someone else's studio and just like exchange ideas and on the fly without having to deal with this interface. So.
Yes, indeed.
I thought it was interesting what they're doing over at the Store Lab with Speedy J and who are the other folks he's collaborating with, and they have that system set up so that they can actually do. I think the style of music probably lends itself to being able to cope with latencies, but they came up with some sort of low latency system for syncing the music together, which is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
For doing a across Europe collaboration or
the live long distance.
Yeah.
They cracked that code, yeah.
So one thing that I think is really interesting about the pandemic is that we found out, the potential for these technologies, but we also found like hard limits. We can't, there's some things that we can do in person that we just can't do online. There's no amount of technological advance that will allow us to do that, right? Like the latency is an issue about the speed of light, right? It's not even, it's not something you can solve. We just need to get closer together. And yeah, so I think surely there will be some online stuff that continues, but I think we've really discovered the value of what we can do in person, and that's never going away and never be replaced.
I think actually the pandemic has been almost a boon for eurorack expansion, because whereas before, if you wanted to perform eurorack in front of people, you had to go to a live event. But now everything is online. There are more people who really don't want to get in front of people and play live, but they want to play on live somewhat anonymously. So, you know, they're emboldened to actually do that when there's not a camera on their face and they can play their set and not have to worry about someone actually seeing them. So I think there's a lot more people who are braver now to perform eurorack than there had been before the pandemic started.
I think accessibility to an audience is also another thing, in that there's a lot of people who live places where it isn't physically practical for them to travel to a place to perform live with an audience who's interested, but now they have that accessibility.
Colonel Lex, thanks for joining us. Yeah, go ahead.
I've actually been experimenting a lot with these like over distance and like lower latency technologies. I've had a lot of fun with like Jamulus and like Jack Trip, like kind of, you have to, it's like very kind of prohibitive because you have to have an Ethernet connection and like high bandwidth, and especially like high upstream bandwidth, and like it's just been like so much fun just kind of like playing together with someone and like having to like navigate and like embrace that like latency and figure out like what can you do with that. And then there's I forget the name of it, but there's another kind of over the internet collaborative plugin that's built into Reaper, Ninjam. That one, there's a couple of series where they've been using that principles of non-isolation in audio. That's curated by Brand Paz out of Oakland. And yeah, I played a set with a guy who was across the continent, I think like in New York or something. I had never met him, and like we just sound checked beforehand, and like we had like, I think it was like 2 bars at like 120 worth of delay. And so it was this really weird experience of time in which the time that you're interacting with is like a previous time, and they're interacting with what you did before. It's really interesting. And I think the pandemic made the technology get a lot better, because a lot of that stuff hadn't been looked at since like 2008. They were just kind of weird academic projects.
Hugo, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just remember early when I was in college in the north of France, it was kind of isolated, and I couldn't find bands. And I remember trying Ninjam, and I think that would have been 2007. And I just remember the experience of like that buffer that's like 2 bars, and like you're playing to what the other person played 2 bars ago, and they're playing to whatever you played 2 bars ago. And it was a lot of like, you know, guitar playing pentatonic scale through the Sound Blaster sound card. It was pretty fun experience.
Yeah, it lends itself to rhythmic stuff, but if you want to play changes, that's gonna...
Yeah, the store guys use that. That's what the store guys use, Ninjam, and I think they're all techno guys, so it's just all, you know, they just sync up a clock and go for it. But they get through a couple 2-hour, 3 hours long sessions without any mishaps. It's pretty impressive. They're all pros too, but it actually sounds really good what they're doing. But yeah, for stuff that's a little less, you know, just repetitive, I can see that being a major issue. Trying to stay in, you know, just in it with somebody, you know, when you're delayed like that or off time.
Yeah, I've seen some application that allow you to jam live if you're less than, I don't know, 25 or 50 miles from each other. But so that was a good. I think some people use that. But I think if you are less than 25 or 50 miles, then they will want to see each other. But it could be nice, you know, when you don't have a place to jam, or you moving all your equipment to do a session. That could be interesting. I see in the Bay, you know, traffic is difficult, so you want to have as many opportunity to jam together and then have a real session just to make sure everything is together. I wanted to say also, if you have got some shout out to any project or friends or whatever, then please do so. I think one big shout out was to Joe Wells for organizing the Modular World Anniversary show. Forgot 130 artists, 30 hours of music. That was I don't know, the real cool event to finish a little bit this pandemic with a blast. I know that a few of us were on it. So anybody wants to carry on the conversation, and I don't know where we are at on online collaboration and gear acquisition syndrome. So what did you get?
I just saw Colin Bender's finish his modular setup, and I'm starting to get gear acquisition syndrome again. That guy, that's just crazy. Alpha,
out of control, just the wiring system on that he had to deal with.
No, just the sheer size. I mean, that thing is longer than my room is wide. It's just unbelievable.
We also had to manually wire each one of those modules in with like that little hand tool that he was using. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw that, the little like one of these, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that guy's crazy.
I didn't speak too much about my gear, but I've all through the pandemic, I've just slowly been acquiring kind of small things here and there. Nothing super exciting. And I've had some luck with I did some work for somebody and traded and kind of got a bigger case. So that was a really cool acquisition I got during this period to kind of spread out some of the stuff that I got. And I think I'm gonna probably get a Needham case as well through another kind of trade for some work, which is the only way I could ever do something like that. So I'm gonna have a bunch of room to grow into. But that also conversely makes me really appreciate what Bobby's talking about, the small systems, So I am looking at having a few portable small systems just to kind of mess around with and work with, or maybe do live shows with, and just to be able to pull from the larger batch of to feed into, So it's interesting in that way, but having a bit of a larger system is really also definitely making me appreciate the smaller system, And vice versa, even, it's nice to be able to go in splurge and indulge every so often, but it's nice to stay within the constraints as well. So.
Yeah, I've heard several podcasts recently where I think it was 3 or 4 different artists or producers that I've listened to podcasts about recently. And all of them mentioned that one key to being productive in their studio is having either areas of division where they would have different stations that had different sort of purposes, or they would have these sort of mini systems that they would use for, exploration here and, composing here, stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting how people tend to gravitate toward, taking this larger system and sort of pulling out pieces and, creating these smaller systems with it to produce individual works.
I'm a big fan of virtual modular. It lends itself to being able to create very specialized systems that you can pull up as a preset. I totally I'm a hardware person. I love the the hands-on interface and all that, and totally agree. With taking a break from the computer, but I just feel like you can also be really productive in the software realm, and I'm starting to revisit that again because I spent so much time jamming on hardware that now all of a sudden, I just had a road trip and spent a little time on my laptop, and I was like, man, I'm just recording so many ideas so quickly, feels like cheating. And the sound quality, I'm a big fan of soft tube modular in terms of the sound quality, but I like the interface of BCB rack better in terms of how it works as a standalone system. But I don't know, software rant.
One thing that I did a lot of songs during the pandemic, and I rebuilt my case for every stream. It was just something that I did. It makes it hard because it's the most annoying part of the process for me. So I have to really kind of put some time into putting the case back together. But because I'm a touring musician, I always try to work out of this 6U94 HP case, which really, so I'm always like shifting things because I just want to stay in the zone in case I really got to like pick it up and go. I don't want to get sprawled out, you know, as I heard someone saying earlier about the sprawling. I could really go there, but also it's been super fun just building something for every stream. You know, I really enjoyed that process.
I think Lakeland, you wanted to bounce back?
Yeah. My impulse purchases are usually a pretty direct response to feeling stressed. So, like, there have certainly been times throughout the last year where I'm like, yes, I definitely need to buy a Kurzweil K2000 right now. So I did that. Have not turned it on. Very excited about it right now, but the thing that I've been obsessed with recently is like actually building up my studio, and I'm realizing that I have a mixer problem. I'm like, mixers are deeply imperfect, and they're so important. And so I've impulse purchased 2 mixers in the last month, and I've realized that I have 6 mixers in my house, and I do not need that many, and I need to get rid of some. But that's kind of what's on my mind right now. I'm not feeling super compelled to buy like more synthesizer things. I filled up my cases, they feel great, but like trying to actually optimize, like being at home, optimizing a workflow that's actually really easy to use and that makes me want to not just record and jam, but like finish things has been top of mind for me. Because like recording a bunch of nonsense has not been a challenge, but like bringing those into a state that I think is finished and like wanting to spend time on actually mixing has been more of a challenge. So getting really into that, mixer being the thing. Oh, also Bitwig. I got into Bitwig over the last year, which was kind of also impulsive, but it was a really rewarding decision. So yeah, mostly gas around like studio workflow rather than individual like synthesizer pieces of gear.
Yeah. And I think I've got Kim and after Hugo, and it will be time to close this stream so we can go to the Synth Summit. Kim?
Yeah, my gear acquisition has also been studio stuff. I bought a big pack of Waves plugins because I was just like, I need to like master all the like thousands of hours of stuff that I have and find things for an album. And yeah, the kind of like current gas for like eurorack that I've been sitting on, and I'd love recommendations from you all, is been looking for a really good like delay module that's kind of been at the forefront of my mind for a while. Yeah.
How big?
If anyone knows good delays, let me know.
I was curious, like, what specific category? Because, like, delays are so, you know, there's just so many types and kinds, and, you know, you're looking for, like, a tape emulation or, like, you know, more of, like, an 80s style BBD.
And how much room do you have? I think that's a key factor.
I have, like, a whole, like, lid of a, like, 7U case to fill, so the room isn't an issue. It's just finding the right thing.
I'll say right off the bat, the one that I absolutely love and I use all the time is Magneto. It's so incredible, multi-tap delay and reverb and lots of like tape emulation effects in there. It sounds just gorgeous, but it's huge and it's kind of expensive. But that'd be my number one recommendation.
Who's the guy that does the comparison? Is it comparative irrelevance? Who's the guy that does the comparison videos that are like super indulgent, long? He does like, he'll just load up his rack with, you know, he'll just do all filters, you know, it'll be like a filter from every company that he can get. I think he might have one on delays, I'm not sure. I think it's comparative irrelevance. I think it's his channel, YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that the guy that did the dirty delays review?
He might have. I know he just focuses on one, you know, function at a time, and it's like it'll be a 45-minute, you know, just all audio, no, you know, just like
Yeah. Sorry, I want to interrupt. We are getting on the top of the hours, and Hugo raised his hand. So, Hugo, and then I need to close this stream. Go ahead, Hugo.
Okay.
Hugo.
Well, I got a new pair of monitors for the studio, that Focal Trio CSB that came from France, and they're like so beautiful and amazing, and they've been helping me with my client work quite a bit. Yes, those are the Alpha 50, 80.
These are the 65s.
65s.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
Focal is a great brand. The other thing that came up for me that really caught my attention, which I'll be playing with hopefully soon, it's made by a brand based off of Brooklyn. It's called Physical Synthesis, and they have this instrument that's called Cicada. And I'm very attached to cicadas because they're all around where I grew up. And the way they make their sound is by flapping their wings on their body. And so this device it takes sound as an input and has a cantilever that flaps. And then this flaps against a surface that has a contact mic that will pick up the vibration. So whatever you drive out of your modular goes into the physical world and back into electric signal out of the contact mic. And it's a beautiful instrument, looks gorgeous. And it has two flaps, so you can move them around, change the blades of the cantilevers. There's like the wing of the cicada on it, it's beautiful. And then you can also change the surface the cantilevers flap on. So this really, there's demos online where you see it, or maybe they are online. They've shown me demos where you can see they play different modular patches through that.
Yeah.
And it just brings it into the physical world, and you can interact with the objects. Yeah. So that's super interesting.
I saw Sarah Belred got some also, so please check it out. So it was really awesome to have all of you today. Sorry we have to cut because I promised to Trovasi that we all move to the Synth Summit, and I think the first show is about DIY, sorry. And they're going to do some soldering and stuff like that. Really awesome. Thanks Alphaster, Free-Frae, Daughter of Drexia, The Galaxy Electric, Next Expanse, Trovasi, Malaki, Hugo R. Paris, sorry I did it in English, Kim Nucci, Intafon, Chris Ochi, Lachlan Fletcher, Cult of One, also known as Ryoko, Karn Alex, and Wabi Sabi. Thanks very much from all of you for coming today, and good luck in your endeavors, and I hope to see you soon, face to face in real life.
Thank you, Frank. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Frank. Bye. Take care, everybody. Stay lifted.
Bye. And the next show will be with Tulpa Dusha, and after I think I will receive John Owells. Thanks, everyone. Take care.